column in the New York Post today, that's one of the many secondary effects of affirmative action, is that it suggests to many people, black and not black, that the black students may actually be lesser than in intellectual and cognitive ability than the others, and have been only able to get there because they've had an unnatural boost from the admissions process.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. My name is Ellery, and today I'm back with a new video and check out you guys. This is called Most Privileged Woman in the World. Douglas Murray obliterates Michelle Obama using her words. That can be painful though. Reverse psychology hits different. You know how it goes, guys. We talk less and we react more. Let's check this out.
So that, as Michelle Obama shows, is something which actually, far from, giving you the strength to climb the ladder and all of those other banal Hallmark cards insights that Michelle Obama forever gives people.
Douglas Murray absolutely destroyed Michelle Obama in this video. Douglas Murray responds to Michelle Obama's reaction to the Supreme Court ruling against Harvard University, which effectively brought an end to affirmative action in the college admissions process. Douglas Murray did not hold back.
Let me read this post that Michelle Obama put up, because it illustrates some of the Ketanji Brown Jackson thinking here. She wrote, "Back in college, I was one of the few black students on my campus, and I was proud of getting into such a respected school. I knew I'd worked hard for it, but still, I sometimes wondered if people thought I got there because of affirmative action. It was a shadow that students like me couldn't shake, whether those doubts came from the outside or inside our own minds. But the fact is this, I belonged. And semester after semester, decade after decade, for more than half a century, countless students like me showed they belonged too. It wasn't just the kids of color who benefited either. Every student who heard a perspective they might not have encountered, who had an assumption challenged, who had their minds and their hearts opened, gained a lot as well. It wasn't perfect, but there's no doubt that it helped offer new ladders of opportunity for those who throughout history have too often been denied a chance to show how fast they can climb. Of course, students on my campus and countless others across the country were and continue to be granted special consideration for admissions. Some have parents who graduated from the same school. Others have families who can afford coaches to help them run faster or hit a ball harder. Others go to high schools with lavish resources for tutors and extensive standardized test prep that helps them score higher on college entrance exams. We don't usually question if those students belong. So often we just accept that money, power, and privilege are perfectly justifiable forms of affirmative action, while kids growing up like I did are expected to compete when the ground is anything but level. So today my heart breaks for any young person out there who's wondering what their future holds and what kind of chances will be open to them. And while I know the strength and grit that lies inside kids who have always had to sweat a little more to climb the same ladders, I hope and I pray that the rest of us are willing to sweat a little too. Today is a reminder that we've got to do the work not just to enact policies that reflect our values of equity and fairness, but to truly make those values real in all of our schools, workplaces, and neighborhoods.
Douglas Murray is about to demolish Michelle Obama's reaction. But before we get into Douglas Murray's response, I want you to notice two quick things about Michelle Obama's tweet. Firstly, she acknowledges that affirmative action made her question her own merit as a black student, but yet continues to spread this victim mentality by being pro-affirmative action. Secondly, notice how she makes everything about race. This is very common in the political left today, where everything is looked at through the lens of race.
Apart from the sheer emetic quality of her prose as ever, I don't know why Michelle Obama always feels this desire to sort of throw herself into debates like this. I mean, she's the former First Lady. I don't know. Are we all waiting to hear from Laura Bush?
No, because she had an SAT prep person, I'm sure, and that means she's
maybe Melania Trump should weigh in soon on her thought. I mean, seriously, she's a former First Lady. She got where she did through all sorts of means. But the idea that this means that she has to sort of soapbox about the Supreme Court, I find, as I say, sort of emetic among other things. But here's the thing. She admits something very strange but interesting at the beginning of that long-winded statement, which is she says that when she was at university, she sometimes wondered whether she had got there through merit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as I said in my column in the New York Post today, that's one of the many secondary effects of affirmative action, is that it suggests to many people, black and not black, that the black students may actually be lesser than in intellectual and cognitive ability than the others, and have been only able to get there because they've had an unnatural boost from the admissions process. So that, as Michelle Obama shows, is something which actually, far from, giving you the strength to climb the ladder and all of those other banal Hallmark cards insights that Michelle Obama forever gives people, actually detonates something at the beginning of your university career, which is maybe I'm not here on my own merits. And here's one of many other things. There's much to say about this, but Michelle Obama, as ever, sees these things through the race lens. Mm-hmm. Now, she herself is an exceptionally privileged person. She is married to one of the most privileged people in the world. Should their children, when applying for college, I think they've already done that, but should they be regarded as black applicants to Harvard or wherever, or should their extraordinarily privileged, in fact, more privileged than anyone else in the world, probably apart from the Duke and Duchess of Montecito, should they be regarded as being highly privileged and therefore marked down?
Douglas Murray's response was just absolutely brilliant. He basically destroyed Michelle Obama's whole statement using her own words. This is a classic example of someone being blind to their own privilege and pretending to speak on behalf of the marginalized. This kind of talk from Michelle Obama is what keeps us from moving forward as a society. The need to dwell on race and previous disadvantages actually makes matters worse, not better. This reminds me of when Morgan Freeman was asked about ending racism. His response was brilliant.
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it.
Fact.
I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.
Simple. Fact.
I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman.
Fact. I love this short clip he shared at the end. I mean, this is basically what any right-thinking person should be saying. It's all about black and white. This is what he said. I stopped calling you a white man. You stop calling me a black man. You know me simply as Morgan Freeman. And I know you simply as Mike Wallace. There is no need complicating issues. Let's see. Michelle Obama's speech. Now, that tweet she was referring back to her days in college. The truth is, black people growing up then wasn't quite easy. There's a lot of racism on both sides. So, she feeling if she actually belonged there, I don't think it's wrong to actually question whether this is where you are. I mean, when people constantly treat you like trash, you tend to question whether that's actually where you're meant to be. But looking at it from the other angle, what prompted her to make that tweet in the first place was because they wanted to ban the Harvard University. And this was the school she went to. But then, according to Douglas and the other moderators, she centralized it on race. I mean, yeah, I just saw the talks going on and on as she and all the other black kids and all that. It's her personal experience. I really don't see why she should be lashed for it. But then, truly, Madam Michelle Obama is actually one of the most privileged women in American history. I mean, her husband, Mr. Barack Obama, was the first. I don't want to use the word black there. I'm gonna stand with what Morgan Freeman said. He was the first African American president. And in the present, she's privileged, but was she always that privileged? I mean, these people who don't actually know what she might have passed through in her days in college actually make her write that post, because she said at some certain point, she and other black students could prove that they belonged there, trying to measure up. And she stated that sometimes others receive a boost through their finances and all that, but she had none. They had to struggle from the ground level. Personally, I might be wrong, but I really don't see anything wrong with her speech other than the extreme race examples in it. And she didn't even insult the white populace or whatever. She was just frankly relating her experiences and giving other struggling people the encouragement that they deserve. Although in all reality, I don't see how that tweet is particularly related to the Harvard problem in court. But then, Douglas, was quite unhappy about this. He said, as a former first lady, she should keep out of all this argument. That he mentioned some other first ladies in America. He said, should they wait for comments from them? I honestly feel there's nothing wrong in airing your views. I'm totally not in support of being spoken down because of what you think or relating your past experiences to others. Well, guys, tell us what you think about this video in the comment section. And leave a thumbs up at the end of this video. Thank you all for watching and stay safe.